Hey guys, so I decided to go outside today. It is absolutely beautiful. It's a little humid. Okay, it's a lot humid. We went from like 30-degree weather to like 80 and really humid. But I will take the humid because I'm done with cold. I need warmth in my life right now. It's time. It's the middle of May. It's May 15th. So I actually went out today and decided to get a run in, and I felt amazing. I think I probably did like 3 miles. Nothing major, but still felt awesome. Nothing like having that high from exercising and just feeling awesome. Just can't really compare it to anything else. It's just fantastic. Highly recommend it. We're doing a group right now. And it is called Move That Bod, and everybody's doing awesome. It's based on a progression workout. We've been building up from like a 2-minute workout, and right now we're at to about like 10 to 12-minute workout per day. And then by the 30 days, by the end, we're gonna be at a 30-minute workout. So it's awesome, and it's helping people stay motivated, and it's helping me stay motivated and staying on top of it. So it's great. I came back from my run, got that workout in, and now I'm done for the day. So I know I'm going to be more productive today. So today I wanted to talk about food sensitivities because I know everybody's hearing more and more about it. It's something that's affecting so many different people on different levels. So, I know that I have some different sensitivities. I've definitely eliminated things from my diet. But I still think that there's other things out there that are a little suspicious. Especially I find if I try and do something that is gluten-free, even like the processed forms of like the substitutes affect me, and I have some kind of issue. So it's frustrating. And I know it's just, my body telling me that I just need whole foods. I don't need any kind of like substitute processed alternative because it's just not working. So in saying that, there's 3 categories of diet-induced food sensitivity. The first one is a food allergy, so that would be like a celiac disease or somebody that has an anaphylactic reaction to peanuts and things of that nature. That is 4 to 6% of the population that is encountering that. Then you have the autoimmune version of that diet-induced food sensitivity. That's about 3 to 5% of the population. And I guess I would fall in that category because I have autoimmune, I have MS. But then the third kind is just a food sensitivity in general. Any kind of person is encountering this kind of issue. And this is actually, believe it or not, 30 to 40% of people have a food sensitivity. So that's a big, big number, and it's something that, is rising now. I think because of the way that the food is being processed, and it's over-processed. So right now, it's a challenging thing for physicians to really, conventional doctors to treat it because they're really trying to do more research on it, and I don't think that there's enough research being done on food sensitivity in general. They're trying to figure out what the known source of the inflammation is. And, you're talking about people that are dealing with a multitude of health issues like IBS, migraines and headaches, fibromyalgia, arthritis, obesity, metabolic syndrome, all these different things, ADD, ADHD. The list goes on and on and on. The food sensitivity is one of the most under-addressed areas of conventional medicine. So that's concerning, especially since the numbers are on the rise. I guess the issue with it really is it's very difficult to diagnose. And that's the problem. Everybody has different reactions, and the reactions can occur either immediately or they can occur up to 48 to 72 hours after you ingest food. So, that's definitely an issue because then it's harder to identify what is actually causing that sensitivity or that problem for you. And the other issue is, and nobody wants to hear this, I don't want to hear this, but even foods that we consider to be anti-inflammatory can in fact be a trigger and be a food sensitivity for some. So foods just like healthy foods like salmon, blueberries, spinach, kale, ginger, the things that we categorize as anti-inflammatory. So it's just, hey Scott and Ron, thanks so much for joining, guys. So that's just something that you have to keep in mind. You just have to really tune into your body and know what's going on, and determine if you are having a sensitivity. So I have a whole list here of what to look out for as far as common sensitivities. And the biggest one is actually fatigue. And that is something that I have to deal with having multiple sclerosis and dealing with the fatigue. But I notice that the fatigue kicks in more so when I have something that I shouldn't have. And when I was having gluten and adding that into my diet, it hit me. Brain fog is second. That's another biggie. And that was just a very big issue for me. And again, the gluten and the dairy, I noticed it. When I would add it back in, that's it. I was just like, whoosh, the fog was there. I couldn't concentrate. I was not productive. So I know now, it's not worth it. It's not worth to have in my diet. And there's so many other great foods out there. Other common signs of sensitivity would be like joint pain. This is something that I'm working a lot with my clients on right now. And I have had several with knee issues, and they're finding that they have sensitivities to different foods. I had somebody that had a sensitivity to peppers, and which is a nightshade vegetable. So now she, has eliminated that from her diet, but it was definitely causing more of an issue for her knees. And then I have another client who was having, major knee issues and major, just pain. It's awful. But we noticed that she was having issue with wheat, and it was actually causing her to cough. And that was almost immediately after ingesting the food. So, there's all kinds of things, symptoms or, ways of looking at sensitivity. So eczema, stomach aches, and bloating, that's a big one that a lot of people struggle with. Acid reflux, constipation and diarrhea, and unexplained weight gain or loss. And I know even our daughter's, I think, having some kind of sensitivity to gluten right now. So we do want to get her tested. We've backed her off, and when we put it back into her diet, she has an issue. So it's just, these are definitely things that, it's becoming more and more prevalent, like I said. So there's other medical conditions where food sensitivity can play a primary or secondary role. So for instance, with my MS, they say, and I've talked about this before in other sessions, people that have autoimmune disease are more likely to, encounter another autoimmune disease. So for instance, like you go from MS to having like a gastrointestinal type of issue. So that would be like IBS or Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis. And then there's the neurological side. So you could deal with like migraines, epilepsy, depression, insomnia. The musculoskeletal, which would be like a fibromyalgia and like an inflammatory arthritis. And then the endocrine, which is the obesity, and that is, I know, a big struggle for many, which all plays into the food sensitivity. And like I had said, it takes a while to really figure out how long your body is having a sensitive reaction to it. They say it could be up to 48 to 72 hours after you ingest the food. So just keep that in mind. The biggest thing I like to talk about is just gluten, because, I follow Dr. Tom O'Brien, and he is like amazing and super knowledgeable. I mean, the biggest thing with him is the gluten factor and the sensitivity that people have. Hi, Mark. Glad you could join. So what gluten is, and a lot of people may not realize it, but it's a protein that's in wheat, rye, and barley. And your body cannot break down the protein that's in the gluten. It's an issue where your amino acid structures are, your body can't break it down anymore because of the way that the wheat is hybridized and processed today. It's a different wheat than it was 100 years ago. And nobody can break it down properly. It depends on those people that actually don't have the sensitivity factor. Some people can be fine, and other people have huge sensitivity to it. It's a hugely complex issue. And it's, like I had said earlier, it's something that I know my body reacts to, and I have a lot of issues. And, it affects the brain. Specifically, it manifests mostly in the brain. You'd think it would be the gut, but it really is the brain. And that's where you're getting the brain fog. You're getting the difficulty with concentrating. You're getting headaches, migraines, and it even can affect depression, anxiety, and sleep quality. So it's definitely becoming more and more prevalent. What's happening is it's actually blocking the blood flow into your brain, and they call it hypo perfusion. This is something that's happening to people that have celiacs. It's a major problem, and it's causing a lack of blood flow to your brain, and it's making your brain not work well. So, like I had already mentioned, that you know, includes the brain fog. It includes the depression. It includes the difficulty with concentrating, the fatigue, which is huge for so many people. So it's just something that, you know, we need to really start thinking about. And I know a lot of people think, oh, well, you know, the gluten-free thing, that's just a fad and whatnot. It really isn't a fad. It's not a trend. It's a movement, and it's something that's real. And I think more people need to really open their eyes to what's going on with what's in our food and why it's making us react the way it is. I mean, everybody you talk to today, they have some kind of issue, but they can't really figure out what that sensitivity is. You know, there's a lot of different tests out there now. You can buy them online. You can buy them on Amazon. I haven't tried any yet. I kind of have gone the old school way, and I've done the elimination diet, and then I've introduced those foods back, and now I know what my sensitivities are. And I highly recommend doing that. I'm actually running another, I guess you can call it a cleanse, but I like to call it like a clean eating challenge, because you're eating whole foods. You're eating 3 whole, you know, meals a day. There's even snacks included that are healthier version snacks. It's just all whole food. And we do that for 7 days of super clean eating, and then we start gradually adding back in foods such as gluten to see how your body reacts. And you have 48 hours to see how it reacts to your body, and you just journal what's going on. Then we clean up your diet again, go back to that clean eating. For another 48 hours, and then we reintroduce another food. And you can introduce whatever you want. If you're suspicious of anything that you feel you have a sensitivity to, go for it. So if you think your sensitivity is caffeine, if you think your sensitivity is dairy, if you think it's eggs, peppers, you know, any kind of food, that's when you do it, because you're kind of clean with everything, and you can see how your body's reacting by adding that inflammatory food in and see what's going on. From there, it's up to you whether you want to fully remove it from your diet, or maybe talk to your doctor about next steps of what you should do. So I decided to remove dairy. I've removed gluten, and it's been over a year now, almost 2 really. I feel great. I'm alert. I don't have the brain fog anymore. On occasion it comes, but for the most part I know how to work it out. So it's so worth it to me to eat this way. We're all programmed to eat a way that that we enjoy, right? But a lot of people have a hard time making change. But when you have this change in your life, it's so worth it to feel fantastic. I'm outside right now. I run circles around my family, okay? And I have MS, and I take pride in that I can do that. And I feel it's because of how I take care of myself with eating, with exercising, and with my lifestyle, with making sure I get enough sleep and all that. So, I mean, it makes a huge difference. Trust me from one that knows. So if you're interested in doing my my group cleanse, it starts the day after Memorial Day. So I figure get all the junk out of your system once the day after Memorial Day gets here, and we can get you back on that healthy track. See what is causing you food sensitivity. The group is fun. I supply all kinds of recipes, a lot of support in the group, and I am more than happy to do one-on-ones with people if they would like to do that. I just want to help people kind of figure out what's going on and what's causing issue. So if you're interested, please just send me a direct message, and I will add you to the group and get you more information on that. So that's it. I don't know. I don't see any questions about the food sensitivity issues, but if you do have questions after, watching this, feel free to send me a message. I'd be happy to help you out. Enjoy the beautiful weather today. It is so lovely, and have a great weekend. Take care.